going, Hero Duelist here, and you know I got that Satellarknight deck profile for you guys from the regionals. Let's check out this spice. How's it going, guys? Hero Duelist here, and today we're at the regionals in, I guess, Toronto still, Scarborough. We got Mike here. What'd you do today, Mike?
Yeah, Mike McCall. I went 6-2 with Satellarknights.
Oh yeah.
And in a 550-man roughly tournament, and I just lost table 28. Or else I would have been 7-2 and top. Not sure if I topped yet. The lists aren't up.
Oh, I think we're gonna be Gucci. Let's do it, dude.
All right, so we're gonna go over the profile. First, I'm running not one, but 3 of the super rare Unicallis. This card is great. It dumps your Deneb to the hand. When it's in your hand and you're thinking it's dead, you always can search or grab into a Vega and then make the play with just the 2 of them. You have an XYZ in Dark Tellarknight that can make Vega and this into a Travere.
Okay.
So 3 of those. Next we have the only brick in the deck. This is the only card you open and you wish you didn't open.
Oh yeah.
Even if you open 1 copy, it still slows you right down because there's nothing in the grave, unless you have Skybridge, which is the MVP of the deck, but I'll show you that in a minute. So 3 Altairs, target 1 in the graveyard, special summon it, then that monster's effect goes off. We have the Rhoda for the deck, even though there's Rhoda in the deck. Satellarknight Deneb. This is just when it's special summoned from the graveyard, add 1 Satellar from deck to hand. I think I ended up playing 14 Stellars. Let me just double check that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Stellars. And that's all I played in the main deck. But 2 Vega, this one special summons 1 from hand, whether it be Altair into something else in the grave, and that's 3. So you can make a natural Travere, or if it's just gonna be this for 1 other one, and then you make the slow Travere, or the Satellarknight Diamond. Next for the techs, in terms of monsters, we have the 2 I picked up this morning, and 2 Phantasmes. Honestly, I came here and I had a short list of cards I wanted. Phantasme was one of them. I traded a $500 binder. It was Dragon Links, it was it was Dragon Links, it was Dinosaur True King, and it was about $200 worth of jank, and I got, and 40 bucks, and I got 2 of these, a $25 GX04 Dark Bribe, and
sick.
2 Turbo 3 ultra rare Dark Reffers.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, so that was the deal for that when I first walked in the door. 3 Pankratops. You always want to see this in your first hand. You always need to get rid of something that's stopping you from getting your 2 or 3 summons off. This is great to out things like a 3 counter Appaloosa, or anything that says, oh, no monster effects, cool, I'll special summon it to the field and beat over it because those no monster effect monsters are never 26 or higher.
Yeah, that's sick.
And they came in real clutch against the only Pendulum deck I played today. I'll go into a tournament report also if you want. Then we got 3 Ash Blossoms, staple. It's a Toronto regional, there's 500 people here, it's staple. It hits it almost every deck. On to the spells in the deck. I was reluctant to put these in, but I put them in anyways.
Okay.
2 Pot of Desires, self-explanatory. You don't want to resolve 2. Every game I had to resolve 2, aside from 1 game.
Yeah.
I lost it by resolving 2.
Okay.
I was really hurt in round 4 because of it, and that was one of my 3 losses on the day, including the very final 9th round, because game 1, I Pot of Desires, banished 2 Vegas. Game 2, I Pot of Desires, banished 2 Vegas.
Oh.
So that shuts your deck right down, but we grounded out and I won that game, but then I lost that match.
Yeah, that's savage.
Then we got your 1 of Rhoda, obviously, that grabs any one of those 11 Satellarknights. 2 Dark Ruler No More, because I expected there to be more Thunder Dragons than there were, and I expected there to be more Pendulums than there were. So 2 Dark Ruler No More. It's a spell speed 4 in terms of they can't respond with a monster effect, but they can still respond with spell traps, which rarely happen unless they're negating. 2 Cosmic Cyclones, because that's the staple right now. And Satellarknights really can't handle the discard with the Twin Twisters just to pop some back rows and maybe get a special summon off. Too costly. That's why I don't even main Super Poly.
Okay.
Next, the MVP of the deck, Satellarknight Skybridge. My absolute favorite combo, and I'll just show it off right here. This happened like 5-6 times this tournament. When you open just Unicalhi and you summon it and you activate the effect, let's say they ash because they don't want you to send Deneb to the grave. You then chain this. It then special summons one from the deck. This goes back to the deck. This resolves. This Unicalhi resolves. Pitching a Deneb to the grave. New chain. Activate Altair. Special summon Deneb. Search.
Oh my gosh.
You avoided an Ash Blossom or an Impermanence, and you got a Travair on the field or something to that effect.
So sick, dude. What the hell?
MVP of the deck. It dodges everything. It's better than, honestly, it's better than Call by the Grave. I side 2 Call by the Graves. I don't main them.
Okay.
That's on for the spells in the main deck. Onto the traps. I had 3 originally in this. After play testing about 5 hours till 3 in the morning, this morning, I guess, I went down to 2 Satellarknight Alphas. If you open an Alpha and no monsters because you only have 11 or 12 in your deck, you're gonna probably brick. Sorry, that's probably a brick hand, and you could lose without Phantasme to reset that for you. So having 2 of these, and obviously there's a lot of games where I didn't open any Satellars, so if I had a 3rd one of these, didn't open any Satellars, then drew one of these on top of it, that would be game.
Yeah, that's so fire.
So I took that off. I had 3 Impermanents when I got here in the deck, dropped down to 2 because it was Impermanence or Compulse. So I dropped down to 2 Impermanents. It was wonderful. I got them almost as often as I needed.
Yeah, that's so sick.
3 Call of the Haunteds, 2 Lost Arts, and DB1. I need 1 PSV to replace this, but 3 Call of the Haunteds.
That's fresh.
They obviously do everything, including bringing out Pankratops on your opponent's summon, or on like without them resolving an effect. Let's just say they summon and then they go to do an effect on the summon. In resolution to the summon, you can call the Haunted your Pankratops. Then their effect goes off. Then you can pop it off.
Yeah, that's
so like
sick.
it's a really good way to get around Appaloosa 2, which I had to get around twice. The one of Oasis of Dragon Souls.
Okay.
And then finally, for 40 card deck, we've got 3 compulsory evacuation device. Just so broke.
Yeah,
This
that
format
card's so good.
just wrecks everything. I bounced in Gearsu. I bounced Galatea. The bounce of the Galatea on turn 1 made them scoop, go to game 2. Like it's stupid good.
That's super fire.
On to the side deck, and I'll let you know what else I wouldn't play. 2 Nibiru's. I did not side them in once in 9 rounds.
Oh, jeez.
2 Nibiru's, nothing. Like, because I noticed Orcus, the game 1 that I would have sided it in round 2, they summoned 4. Afraid of Nibiru, did something else past turn. So there was no point where I faced anybody except for Pendulums in round 8 that I needed to Nibiru them. 3 Artifact Lancia for the obvious reason, it hits half the meta. 2 Call by the Graves. Again, Satellarknight Skybridge avoids everything for you. So where Call by the Grave is both offensive and defensive, but mostly offensive, the Satellarknight Skybridge is defensive already, so you only need to side these, you know, to banish Orcus, things like that. My best play with this today was Fossil Dyna was about to wreck my day in game 1 of round 1, and he had a Fossil Dyna in grave. He did the flip summon, tried to destroy 4 monsters on my field. I Call by the Grave the other Fossil Dyna in grave, no effect. That was the best play it did, but it did some Orcus things too.
Yeah, that's fire.
3rd, Dark Ruler no more because Thunder Dragons and Pendulums are a thing, and Pendulums my hardest matchup.
Yeah.
2 Super Polys because again, Satellars if they can't deal with the discard from Twin Twisters and they do Cyclones over that, it's hard to deal with this, but because the resources you take off the field is worth it.
Yeah.
But not 3. Because if you draw into that second one, the discard's gonna hurt way too much, you're gonna lose. 3rd, Cosmic Cyclone, because there's a lot of back row today.
Yeah.
My PSV first,
That's
Imperial Order. Sided in once against Strikers, beat Strikers without drawing.
Okay.
2 evenly matched. Instead of the 3, that's just for Strikers and Pendulums and Thunder Dragons. And then my secret tech, which actually pissed a lot of people off, if I can say that on your channel. Soul Drain.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yep, I would open Soul Drain, or I'd get it, you know, a couple turns later. This is the Lost Art one. I have the Super APO5 as well, but I would do the Soul Drain when my opponent just sets up, whether they have the field spell or not, sets up an Orcus Grave, and then they can't do anything for 3 turns, and I win.
Yeah, that's so sick.
And then finally the extra deck, and then I can go into tournament report if you want. 2 Constellar Diamonds. This card says you cannot send cards from the deck to the graveyard. You cannot add cards from your graveyard to your hand. If you do, they're banished. And not once per turn, negate the activation and the effect of a dark monster and destroy it. And when you bring this out, it's got 3 materials, so negate 3 darks.
That's so fire.
And destroy them. Then we've got the 2 Batalamus. The Batalamus, the Dark Tellarknight. This is, where's my second one? This is a bring it out on the field with only 2 Tellarknight monsters, then detach 1 and discard a card from hand as cost. That's another reason why you can't afford more discards, because you discard off these 2. And then you overlay a Travare or a Constellar Diamond on top of it, and now you have that monster that requires 3 5s or 4 4s or something, and you got it off this. Then we got one guy Cowboy for time, one Abyss Dweller for Salamon Great and a few other decks. I never used it once because I didn't. Orcus was already full set up when I got it the first time, and I didn't see Salads.
Okay.
Bujenti Sioki came in clutch. I probably drew 2 off it 5 or 6 times this tournament. The Travare, it comes out on the field and bounces all cards on the field to owner's hands, including your exhausted but not destroyed Call of the Haunteds and Oasis of Dragon Souls, so you can reset those. And it wrecks Orcus as well. It wrecks them so hard. I played 3 Orcus today. I only lost to 1 because Travare's too good. And its second effect, once I bounce everything back to your hand, is detach 1 and random send a card, not discard, so no danger effects. Send a card from deck to grave. Sorry, from your hand to the grave.
That's so fire.
So yeah, negates just neg 1's your opponent in hand, and then when it's sent from the field to the graveyard with 1 material, and usually it's 2 materials, detach, hit the card in hand, 21, pass. They take it down with 1 material on it, usually the Dark Tellarknight.
Yeah.
And in grave, it specials Altair, then specials Vega, then specials from hand, because when it hits grave, not from field to grave, and not destroyed, just sent to the graveyard, even for a link summon. It special summons 1 from the grave, which then starts the whole chain, and half the time that happens in the damage step, so your opponent cannot respond. It's like 3 summons in the damage step.
That's so fire.
Then we got 1 Excite on Night. This card I would take out. I'm not sure for what, but I'd take it out. I brought it out once in round 9, the whole day, just once in round 9 against True Draco, and they impermanenced it, and then I tried to do it on the next chain, and then they got the ad. They lost the field, but then they, with 3 cards in hand, they still out-resourced me because I was top decking at that point. This is a desperation move. I want it to be anything else. Draco Stapelia. I don't think I used this today, but I used 1 Starving Venom once. Tornado Dragon because of all the back rows. 1 I didn't use at all, but I figured if somebody's gonna BLS me, this is like one of the only outs to BLS I can use, because the deck itself won't out BLS.
Yeah.
Is Boral Sword, like you can't impermanence it, is Boral Sword Dragon.
Yeah, that's fire.
Well, you can bounce it with Travare, but there's only two Travares in the deck. You don't want to use it for just the 1 BLS, Soldier of Chaos. And then the BLS Soldier of Chaos.
Oh, that's fire, dude.
Yeah, so
Super sick.
just like a quick tournament report for this deck, just so y'all know like where I got 6-3 from. Round 1, I got, my opponent was playing Border Stun, and he opened 3 Crackdowns, which just shut down my deck. It didn't negate their effects on summons, but then I couldn't overlay with them, so lose. Game 2 with 2 minutes left. The fuck is Moonmirror Shield? Didn't even know what that card was.
Oh, really?
I misread it. I was gonna call a judge, but there was only 2 minutes left to like get a good read on the card. I thought it was your attack's equal to my attack in the damage step, and then you gain 1 on top of that. So I figured his 1200 Fossil Dino would go to 13 because he was attacking a face down Vega. So I thought he was taking 300 and I'd win in time. No, he got the 16 to a 17, beat over it, game.
Yeah.
So that happened. Then we got, that was it. So I lost to him, and no, there was 3 games. I smashed him in game 2, sorry. Game 3, that's when that happened.
Okay.
Round 2 against Orcus. Orcus with 3 background and full combo. I opened 5 monsters in Imperm, and in those 5 monsters, I have 19 monsters in this deck. In those 5 monsters, 0 of my 3 Ash and 0 of my 2 Phantasmics. Just Satellarknights, so I lost because I couldn't keep up. Game 2 against them, my 3 back row and Constellar Diamond to shut down Orcus. Versus my opponent's 1 Dark and Twin Twisters in their first 6 cards. So I bring out a guy that negates 3 Darks and he doesn't open any Darks.
Oh, right.
So then he just out-resourced me. He Pankratops off the Constellar Diamond, which gets no graveyard effect, after he Twin Twistered 2 of my 4 back row and then 1 from there. So that was my 2 wins. So I'm now 0-2 at the time. And then in round 3, my opponent dropped.
Okay.
So didn't know what to do about that, and I just played someone else for fun. Round 4, I smashed Musketeers because like we were both the same tables. We were at the top 90 tables at that point. I smashed Musketeers 2 games to none. Game 2, I drew Phantasme for the first time in the whole tournament. Drew Phantasme, and it unbricked my hand to win game 2.
That's sick.
Then the next round, I was at table 86. I lost to double Void Trap, the Void Imagination or whatever.
Yeah.
It special summons
Like,
3
yeah, it's
Infernoid
nuts.
monsters. And then game 2, I won. And in game 3, this was a discrepancy, and he was yelling at me. In the last 15 seconds of the duel, I was in battle phase. I swung 21 on Travere direct. Then I still had 3 cards in hand. He kept yelling at me, go, you need to go to the turn, just so he could go into his graveyard in the last 12 seconds of the duel. Banish, put damage on board, win. But I had the Satellarknight Skybridge in my hand, so I took 3 to 5 seconds to consider setting it or playing it to push for extra damage.
Yeah.
He tried to call a judge over. Judge ruled in my favor that I had a card that I was considering.
Yeah.
Sorry, and then win in time with Skybridge because I did the extra damage.
Oh, okay.
And then I was X2-0 at this point, and then went to table 62, round 7, a single game, won in time with more life points than Pendulum. I was at 41, they were at 17, time was called, so I beat Pendulum. Next round, game 1 was a grind against a really consistent Block Dragon deck that kept grabbing 2...
Was it Block Dragon BA?
Block Dragon BA.
Yeah.
And like Cherubini and then Dante's, and then after he set up his grave, which was like half his deck in the grave, he then just spent the turn going 2 monsters from grave of the Block Dragon, banish 3, special summon to 2 monsters, and it was a grind. It was only 1 game again. Game 1, grind against Block Dragon. Consistency is what I call it. I won 43 to 19 in time.
Okay.
And then round 9, I was out-resourced by Striker, and game 2, I was out-resourced by Striker, which upsets me because 6 months ago I played Striker for 6 months until I built this.
Yeah, but this is sick, dude. Did you
Yeah,
have a good
man.
time today? It was a good regional.
Yeah, it was really good. It was, as I said, it was like 550 people. We had a lot of fun. I came with 2 other guys from Kingston. There was another car, so 7 of us came from
Oh,
Kingston.
sweet, dude.
I don't think any of them topped. My buddy David Bowie topped, but he always tops these kind of events. And I did rather well. Like I've played 16 events since 2003. I quit for 4 years in 2014, but I played 16 events between 2003 and 2014. Topped once in 2008 with Black Wings, and I could have topped now. So.
Well, yeah, let's go check, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the profile, Mike. Like, comment, subscribe, share for more. Hit the notification bell so you can see the videos pop up. Twitch.tv/SpacePantherSupreme. As always, stay frosty, my friends.
Yeah, man.